Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to talk about a significant and huge update here in regards to the Shattered Dimension event, but more importantly, how a lot of players can now take advantage of some massive amounts of gold, training materials, illumination orb fragments, and as well just all the above. There's just so many resources to go around with this event. So what am I referring to? If you guys check marvelstrikeforce.com, there was actually an issue. I made a video on this actually right before this where you can actually run the pocket dimension, shattered dimension for a third time. Now, we weren't really sure if this was going to be an ongoing thing, if they're going to bug it or debug it and obviously send out compensation. So typically when you see a bug in Marvel Strike Force, the best thing to do is just to take advantage of it, and usually you would see that in the way of some sort of compensation. Now, they issued an update actually shortly after my video was made. So this is it right here, guys. So today, an issue occurred with Shattered Dimension, allowing players to run it for a third time after the time run. Remember, most of these events and Shattered Dimension, Pocket Dimensions, they usually can only be run twice and that's it. We have identified the issue and we will keep the event running as normal. Players will now be able to complete Shattered Dimension daily for the node rewards until the event ends. So, ladies and gentlemen, that does not mean it's going to be, 3 times and you're out. It means we can run this every single day until the event ends. And I do believe at the time of recording, there is actually 3 days left. So I can repeat this for 3 additional times for the Pocket Dimension event. So that means there's still a boatload of gold, training materials, illumination orb fragments, crimson gear, teal gear, you name it. It's absolutely massive for folks that actually can get the event done and already have done so. Now they can further double that value and keep on going. We will not extend time on the old enemies event to maintain the integrity of the leaderboard. Be sure to continue playing Shattered Dimension daily for some extra rewards. So I do have some comments and thoughts on this though. Let me know how you guys feel. I think the biggest thing here is that first of all, let's call it what it is, right? This is a massive win for folks that are able to finish the event. I mean, we're talking about resources that can help propel you into getting into Dark Dimension 7, starting Dark Dimension 7, progressing along in Dark Dimension 7 because of the amount of crimson gear. The illumination orbs have some really powerful meta characters. I believe it has like Alpha Flight. There's some Illuminati characters that are utilized for the next legendary event. So I mean, regardless, like it's gonna help your roster in some way, shape, or form, whether it's gold, whether it's training materials, or some sort of gear investment, right? So it's huge. I think from scale, this is probably one of the most generous things that I've ever seen Marvel Strike Force and Scopely do, which is let the event run for the entirety of its course and also allow players to actually be able to take advantage of the freebies and maintain that for the remainder of the event. It could be the fact that it's Friday, it's late on Friday night, and they may have to take down the event entirely to actually repatch it, and maybe that's why they decided this was the best way to go about it. So I don't mind it. I think it's a huge win for folks that can finish the event and do it. Where I think it's going to be harder to stomach this is the folks that just turned level 95, or the players that are, taking a day or two to actually finish the event. Some folks don't have the rosters to just hit auto and go through it. Don't get me wrong, it's a very, very easy event if you have built up the meta and you have roster characters that, if you built up to how it should, a quality roster can get through it, no issues whatsoever. It's by no means a difficult event. It's the ones that didn't start this event right away from the beginning when this launched on, I think, Wednesday, because it was supposed to be Tuesday, but then delayed it to Wednesday. So folks that did not do this event yet and they, decide to wait for the weekend, and that's when they have free time, now they're going to be significantly losing out on a lot. The FOMO is going to for sure kick in. And also players that just turned level 95 that are still trying to get resources to build up gear tier 18 characters. Because remember, at the very end, the final nodes is when you require the gear tier 18 characters to participate. Even though the nodes aren't hard, you need that gear tier 18 requirement. And that might be another shortfall that folks might feel, that pressure to bring up said tunes to finish the event. But honestly, guys, I think it's worth it. The rewards are 100% worth it. And lastly, let's also talk about the leaderboard here, right? It's funny that they mentioned the integrity of the leaderboard, but remember, this is the leaderboard that has radioactive treats, the limited ISO 8 purple, the ions that are needed for Dark Dimension 8. So I think it's gonna be stretching, the points between the haves and the have-nots, right? Like the folks that are able to get this done and were able to, partake in the event as soon as they are able, they're gonna now get a jump on the folks that, even if you're a spender, even if you're a whale, maybe you didn't actually do the event until later on, and that could be a sizable amount of difference now, because missing a day, I think it's like 16 illumination orb fragments, which is like 16,000 points per day. That's very notable, especially for the free to play. It adds up over time, and we still have another 3 days here. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, guys. I don't know what the answer is. There's not really a one size glove that fits all here solution, but this was the most generous in terms of scale. But unfortunately, there are going to be some players that feel this FOMO, and there are going to be players that miss out because they weren't in the end game and ready for level 95, and this was an end game event, right? So let's keep that in context here. This was intended for folks that are already fully leveled up in gear tier 18 characters. So yeah, it's a huge win for the majority of folks, but it is darn unfortunate for those that aren't able to partake and finish the event. Maybe there's some compensation that'll go out later on if there's enough vocalization. We'll see. But in the meantime, guys, make sure if you are finishing this event and taking advantage of it, make sure you're doing it every single day now until the event runs out, because like I said, this is probably one of the best things we've ever seen in terms of compensation being available from a reward perspective. So definitely make the most out of it, build up your roster, and push those characters higher for the end game content. Do let me know where you guys stand, what your guys' thoughts are, or how you feel about it. Please leave your comments below. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.